Hey guys, Coach Jan here, and today we're going to do kicks, and we're going to do it in three ways. We're going to warm up a kick, we're going to take the kick, meaning impact, and then we're going to catch the kick. So it's going to be fun. The warm up is always going to be done by yourself, and it's for breath work and visualization. So you're stretching the kick, you're breathing through the kick, and visualizing your breath go through the kick to the target. And we're going to do that for about 10 kicks, maybe give or take, and myself and Autumn will do this. And it's going to be fun. So here we go. Let's do it. First, let's start out with some uplifting heaven, inhaling up. So why do we start out with this? We start out with uplifting heaven with your feet shoulder width apart and parallel, imaginary string lifting from the top of the head, and relaxation cascading down each vertebrae all the way down through the hips, through the knees, to the center of each heel with the weight on the center of each heel. The reason we do this is not only to give you a nice little stretch warming up, stretching out of the hips, exhaling down, washing the breath down the legs and down the arms. But we're warming up the visualization. The breath work, visualization, and body mechanic. That trio is how we train here. When you train with me, that's how we train. When you have movement without breath work, you have empty movement. And when you have movement and breath work without the visualization, you don't necessarily get the same level of precision and intention. Moving the intention of what you want to do through the body. That's part of what we're here to master, so that we can bring it into other areas of our lives, so we can have more control over the body, more control and more influence over our physical reality. Super important stuff. So we're going to do it right now. It's going to be great. So I have shin pads on. Autumn's got shin pads on. And first kick we're going to do is just a front snap kick. Basic front snap kick. And I trained this morning, and I do have to train 2 to 3 times a day. Obviously, like the longer sessions are loaded into certain areas of the day. So what I'm getting at is that I'm already a bit warm because of my training this morning. So if you haven't warmed up, you may want to do a little bit more warming up. But right now we're going to warm up together with some kicks. Again, we're stretching every kick, so I do recommend making sure that you don't kick too high at first. Take it slow. We're going to do 10 kicks here. Everything is 10. So I'm just doing a front snap kick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep my front leg forward. So I'm in my hands up, 11's up. Just front snap kick. Pushing the ball of the foot up from the side. Boom, pushing the ball of the foot up. Not too high, because I'm still, even though I'm warm, I was sitting doing some work. And now, doing my back leg. Good stuff. Okay, so now we're going to take the kick. So Autumn and I are going to kick back and forth. We're going to take it on the belly. Concept here is that you keep 70% of your weight on your front leg. When you take the impact, you're going to flex and sink. So you're going to take the impact, the breath work and visualization, you're going to exhale, push the pressure. You visualize the pressure as a color going down the leg. The pressure and the breath, both as a color, going down the leg into the ground every time you take the kick. So you exhale when you receive the kick. So Autumn's going to do it to me. See it here? Go for it. Front leg. Let's do front, left. So let's think of this as the teep. She's going to kick right here. Good. So I sink up to that front leg. I'm going to do it to Autumn. She's going to flex the belly. Good stuff. And sink. So this is more of a Muay Thai teep that we're doing right now. But we warmed up with that front snap kick. The base, the foot that you're kicking on, that you're standing on, is staying flat on the ground, and the hips are swiveling, pushing forward for the teep. So the hips will push forward. 2 more. Good stuff. And sink on the front leg. Come forward. Good. One more. Good. Good. Now we'll switch to the other leg. Times it. 550. Okay, good. All right, other leg. Now it's a thrust kick. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, now we're going to catch it. So the catching is going to come under and hook the heel. Just be above the heel. What I mean by that is that here's my heel, like a little bit above it. That's where my hand is getting to position on my partner's leg. So when she does the kick, I'm going to catch right here. And a lot of stuff can happen from here. So right now we're just going to focus on catching the kick.
Not pulling it to the side.
We're not going to pull to the side yet. Okay. So just the left leg kick. Okay. So leave it out. Okay. Go for it again. Good stuff. Good. Now we're going to get. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good. Make sure to take the kick. Go. So really actually give me a kick. Go for it. Actual kick. Actual kick. Keep going. Good. Again. Good.
You gonna catch it?
There we go. Good. More hip. Push me with your hip. Push. Lean your hips to me. So what I mean by that? So this is an important note. If you're not aware of the difference in body mechanic of the teep, in other words, we warmed up with the front snap kick, right? Front snap kick here. Notice that the front snap kick is not pushing the hips forward too much. Obviously, they're coming forward because of the momentum of the kick is bringing the weight of your leg is bringing your hips forward a bit. But it's not a hip-powered kick. So when you do a teep, you're going to whip that hip forward. Obviously, the whip experience seems very fast. So you want to slow yourself down and actually achieve the body mechanic without whipping your body in a way that you may not be used to yet. You can do it faster once you can do it slow. So let's do it properly slow first. So when I come up here to kick in the belly, let me just place my foot on her, and now I'm going to push my hip forward. So that pushing of the hip, I'm using my abs to stabilize, and I'm going to bring my leg back and down. So similarly,
the camera so I have more.
Yeah, sure. Shift, giving it a little more room. Okay. So kick. Good stuff. That was excellent.
Still boxed in, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was you've never done that great. That was excellent. You've never done that particular mechanic. That was phenomenal. That was excellent.
Thank you.
So to do it again. Okay, so now we want to find something in between that first time and what you just did.
Okay.
So let's find something in between. And the in between is your ability to control, because now you know full expression. And now we want to just dial it back a little bit so I can get used to it, so your partner can get used to it. And then that's how we continue to build the drills. So go. Good stuff, that was amazing. So, and then once you do that, make sure you can control the leg, bringing it back. So So, good stuff. And so, in other words, don't let it drag down, meaning that you kick and then you drag. Actually kick and bring it back and down. That's great. So similarly, when you punch, you don't just let your arm go down. So you punch and you bring your arm back to guard. So here, you're kicking, and you may need to check a kick. You may need to do something else with that leg. So you want to make sure that you control bringing it back in. Okay, let's go for a little more. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's do 3 more. Good stuff. And so now we're bringing the catch back in. Good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. And bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Good stuff. Push it out. Hip. Both sides. Lean your hips forward and your back a little. There we go. Push up. Push in into it here. Good stuff. One more. Okay. A little higher. Good. Bring it back. Good stuff. Okay, let's switch legs. So actually, so one note that notice that I was catching. She was kicking my belly. I was catching my left leg forward. I have my left arm catching underneath. The reason that's important is because if I'm catching her left leg with my left arm, I pull. The next step is going to be kick. With the left, please. Let's just take a rewind for a second. Kick. So I can pull to the side. So I've taken her left leg in my left arm. My left leg is forward. And now I'm on the outside of her body. Very important concept. Very important for keeping you safe once you catch a kick. So versus if I catch it with my right leg, my right hand, which I actually did in the very first kick she did. So I had to remind myself. It's not so much that it's, you can always make decisions from any position. So it's not like any position is necessarily bad. But there are reasons why you may choose one over another. And the reason here, can you stand up please? So if I pull to the outside, just come right here, stand in front of the camera for a second. If I pull to the outside, so here I am, bottom, left arm, left leg, pull to the outside. I have all of this here, and she has to reach to get me. I can push her, I have the back. So, kick again please. If I catch her with the right side and I pull here, I'm inside and she can access my body and my face more easily. She can drive this down to the ground and attack me more easily. So I actually have a lot more to be concerned about on the inside of the body versus the outside of the body. So it's a really important concept to recognize why you do something and also to recognize why you may choose to do what people say is not necessarily the most optimal choice. So there might be a reason to go on the inside. Every situation can be different, so it's always important to just recognize what you do for in general, and then when you want to break that pattern for your own style, for your own way of moving. So cool. Let's go to the right side now. Good stuff. One more, please. Good stuff. Thank you. So same here. Got the right side with my right hand. Even my right leg is back. I can pull through, bang, throw something. The last stuff can happen there. Where are you? Are you there? Okay, good. Let's go. Kick.
It's your turn.
Sure. Good stuff. Okay. Good stuff. And really take some time. Notice that I'm not catching all of Autumn's kicks. One of the things that I'm doing right now is getting used to how much pressure she's giving me and really figuring out for myself, and I recommend everyone do this, when you need to tell your partner whether or not they need to lighten up or go harder. So you want to find what's most comfortable for you. I'm finding what's most comfortable for me. Again, I had 2 like car accidents in the last 2 years, so I'm being really cautious and conscious about how I'm working with my like back and recovering and getting rid of some like traumatic muscle tension, etc. So I'm gauging, oh, is this okay for me? And that's why I may not say something. I'm like, let me just feel this again. And then once I feel comfortable, I start catching. And then once I feel comfortable, I may start giving some adjustments to my partner. So always feel free to give notes to your partner as soon as you possibly feel ready to. And ideally, if you have less experience, say something right away if you just feel like you need to lighten up. Okay, let's go for it.
Do you need me to?
Not yet. I think that was pretty good. So what we want to really make sure of over impact right now is body mechanics. And the body mechanic will lead to the impact. So I want to sink into it. Obviously, I sank into it, and then you continue pushing. So you want to sink into the full extension, and then I want you to make sure that you go back to your starting position properly, and I go back to mine. So, pushing up, and make sure that you come forward rather than go back. So, kick, me, forward, and I'm doing the kick. And notice that there's a difference between Autumn pacing and my pacing. So, like, she's making contact and then extending the push. I'm doing my best to make sure that the contact and the push are happening at the same time. So these are little adjustments that we want to keep on making with each other. Boom. So this is my full extension. I'm not going to push anymore because I could, but it doesn't necessarily help us get the flow of the drill. So what we want to make sure of for Autumn is her weight staying on the front leg rather than having the front leg straight as it is right now. So we want that front leg bent, and you want to stay on that bent front leg for the entire drill for the most part. So here I am, good stuff, and then back. And now to Autumn, front leg bent, good stuff. And so if front leg bent pushes me back a little bit, maybe I'll take a half step back so that we have better distance so we can fully, excellent, express the drill. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. 3 more. Good stuff. Okay, let's go again. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so now let's just work the to the side, throw that kick again. So another thing you can do, just as a note, we're not going to do this today, is you can, if you're a Tai Chi player especially, you know the concept of brush knee. Brush knee, the hand passing the knee. Brush knee is applied in fighting. Throw a front kick, please. Either one. Boom. So you just literally brush the kick to the side. So now we're used to catching it, and we're used to, and we can also do the brush knee drill. I don't think we said. Would you like to do that right now?
No, I think
Okay, cool. We're gonna stick to the formula, and now we're gonna move on to our next kick. So we just did 10 kicks, stretching the leg, 10 taking the impact, and now 10 catching. So we're going to work this up again. Now we're going to do, let's do round kicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like mid or?
Mid-level round kicks. So we're going to do mid-level round kicks. So mid-level round kicks, we're going to catch and we'll probably do the throw pass on the mid-level round kicks. So let's go for it. So round kicks. 1, 2. Probably move off the rug so I don't rip it apart. So we're just doing mid-level, not head, not leg, mid-level. Ten on each leg. Cool. So now we have round kicks.
Take it in a normal way, right?
Yeah, let's just take it normal way. Let's start with left leg, I guess. And bring it a little more up. Or parallel, but not down.
I was bringing it down?
Yes.
Okay.
So, should I mean? You ready to take it? I'm going to kick my left leg.
Okay.
So when you take kicks, round kicks, you have your guard, you're going to have if you're taking on your lead leg side, head protecting, elbow down, protecting ribs, collapse, sink on the front leg, other hand comes in front, and like a gentle slap here, protect and a gentle slap. Other side, same concept, hand comes in front of the guard, gentle slap. Gentle slap, gentle slap, gentle slap, gentle slap. So that's what we're going to do here. And arm ready? Gentle slap, gentle slap. I'm going to come up, and that arm's going to stay down. It's going to come up and slap, and great, right here. And you're going to bend this leg more. Collapse this hip down. So collapse your structure. Bend down more. Great. And lean into it. You're going to lean into the kicks a bit. Ready? And let's go. Good stuff. Then I'll go to the other side. Good stuff. Ready? Just here. Almost like they're taped together. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. Okay, so go to me. Cut up. Good stuff. Other side. Chop up with that leg. And bring your path of your toe and your shin up this way to me, like a blade. Go for it. Good stuff. That was excellent.
I
Higher
didn't
now.
want me to go straight, so that's why I'm confused.
Well, there's many different round kicks, and there's many different mid-level round kicks. So you might see us do a chop down. That's actually like a high low round kick, meaning that it's a round kick that's faking mid and then chopping low. And I was warming up with that, which is fine if you're warming up with that. But right now we're going to chop up or come right across. Coming right across requires a different level of precision, and it's one that right now may not be the best for my back and my hips and the way that I need to move. So I may or may not be doing that today. So for you, if you're going to throw the kicks, either come up this way or completely come across as if you're slicing from one side of my hip to the other through, let's say, the floating ribs. It's cutting that way. So either one, this same guard, this same block should be able to work for it. Go for it. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'll go to you. So I'm just chopping up. Good. Let's do 10 on each leg. Let's just do 10 on the left leg, 10 right leg. 10 left leg each, and then 10 right. Okay. Okay. So let's start at 1. Go. Keep your left leg forward. Your orthodox stance. Great. Go for it. Go even lighter but more precise. Come bringing the Max Chen teaches a great way of doing the round kick. Actually, probably the best way that I found. He inhales on his round kicks, and he inhales drawing the breath up the big toe. Max Chen is Grandmaster William C.C. Chen's son, and inhaling up, exhaling down. That's how he throws his round kicks. The breath work comes up the leg into the belly and then comes down. So he's just throwing it up and he'll change the angle, open his hips. His hips are wide flexible. So I do recommend that. I found that to be the most effective. And so why don't you try breathing up and slowing it down so it's less of a snap and more of a you're swinging a bat. Think of the entire leg as a bat.
Okay.
Go for it. Go even more up. Ready? Let's take it. My toe is going to continue to point to your center line. Okay? Okay, sorry. Ready?
Yeah.
Go for it. So think about your toe being pulled up to my center line so that the heel doesn't turn up and that the back doesn't turn, so you don't turn your back to me. Okay?
Which toe are you talking about?
Your big toe.
No, which toe on which foot?
So your left foot, you're kicking
On the
like
kicking
this.
foot or the other foot?
Sure. So they'll just give you a note. So right now, you're turning your heel up. Instead,
On the foot that's...
no, the foot that's hitting me is going like this, like that, like literally like that. So instead of doing that, keep your toe, this lead big toe, coming up, 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 and aim for this area. So, boom, aim for that area. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go for it. Step. Excellent. Excellent. Great.
And I'm ending up in this.
Then you have to switch your stance right away.
Okay, I didn't know if that was an issue of how I'm kicking.
Well, you're going to step, kick, step, back. 1,
Okay.
2, 1, 2. Ready? So 1, 2, step, kick, step, back. Good.
Okay.
Step, kick, step, back. Good. Now proper technique on the kick. 1, 2. Good. Good stuff. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. Okay. One, 2. So I'm going to hold your leg this time, kick. Good. Excellent. Keep this. This time you adjust it because your nose is going to hold. So keep this the entire time for all the kicks, okay? Okay, and then you're going to start to do your best to soften this hip and try to point this hip to my other shoulder or past me over there. Exactly. And so we're going to have to find that the middle ground between you turning all the way over and dragging it down and you actually keeping it flat here. Boom. Ready? Okay, 2 more each side. 2 more on this side. Okay, ready? Well, weight on your front leg.
You're going to kick, right?
Get your ready stance though. Your fighting stance, good. Keep your back heel up. Back heel up.
It is, it's just the cartilage.
Okay, good. Good, now go. Okay, we'll redo that. And go again. Kick straight. Okay, forget about turning the hip over and just get the alignment of the shin and the toe. Okay, do it again. This is what I mean by you're turning over, so your body's falling that way. So do your best to, and it's flipping your heel up. So let's drop your heel a little bit and aim more for as if you're kicking a soccer ball that way. So you're kicking a soccer ball that way. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Sorry.
Okay, now higher. Good stuff. And so that little adjustment that you just made is super important. The little adjustment that you just made is super important. Because notice the elbows. So if you kick up to here, what's going to happen is you're likely going to get spiked by an elbow, which really hurts, especially if you don't have shin pads on. Especially, or for boxers, if you punch and you hit here, it really, really hurts the hand. It can hurt the forearm if you miss. And so you want to avoid kicking right next to the elbow. So you round it out to come over the elbow, or you lower it to kick through and cut across. And obviously you have to be cautious of the hip line. You don't want to hit the hip bone too, so that's a very small target here. So therefore, you would likely, if you're throwing a round kick, a lot of times you'll keep this, you'll hit here with the shin if you're doing the one that's coming across the body. But if you're doing the one that's coming to the side, you're going to aim a little higher than ideally the person throwing a punch, and you're hitting right here. So this is the area you're aiming for. So here, go a little above the elbow so you don't get spiked, because the only thing that saved you just now is the shin pad. Okay, ready? 2 more. Nice. 1 more. Let's finish strong with clean technique up. Keep your big toe pointed up there. 1 more. Good stuff. Excellent. Great. I'll give you the last one. Okay, okay, cool. Right leg. Let's go for it. So now, so you don't want to start out. You don't want to start your first kick hard or strong, too strong for your partner at first. Especially when we're doing these, you want to like soften it up and make sure that you get the rhythm and the partner's ready, etc. Because otherwise it could be dangerous. So I'm going to go here just to warm it up, and now she's going to throw a kick. Good stuff. And we're really focusing on control. Because remember, the control is going to be had by you being able to go slower. You're going to gain more strength. And then as you are warmed up with that level of awareness in your body, then you start speeding it up. And then it becomes like a whip. Good stuff. Could you soften a little bit there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good stuff. Another recommendation is keep your fingers together, the thumb pulled back. Sometimes you'll see karate like this, or you'll see kung fu like this. I recommend jiu-jitsu softens it, calls it bear paws. The same concept, same concept, same concept. So you want to protect the fingers, keep them here, so when you take these kicks, you don't have a loose finger. If you see this finger on me, this was from a loose finger doing MMA, and it got dislocated, then my buddy like snapped it back in. I didn't even go to a doctor. So it's a whole thing. So it doesn't straighten anymore for a while. But you want to avoid having a loose finger when you're punching, when you're defending, etc. So here, very, very subtle, not tight as in like flexed with tension, but tight as in very little space. Very, very little space between the fingers. Soft hands, very little space, very intentional. Okay, 5 more each side. Okay. So really, just want to point out a note, Autumn just made a great adjustment. So she lifted her arm up too high and took one of the kicks in the ribs, which is obviously something that you want to avoid doing. Even if you're very well conditioned, at some point in your life you may not be well conditioned, so you don't want to have the habit of exposing your ribs. So she took one kick here, and then she gradually started making the adjustment herself. Every time she took the kick, it became more and more tight. So it was a really great example, if you caught that, of evolving your technique over the course of a drill. And you should always be evolving your technique, checking in with yourself to evolve over the course of a drill. So now we're going to start catching. So this the catch, rather than the slap, it's going to be come under and catch. We're going to come under and catch the kick. So we're going to guard and come under and catch. So you'll see what that looks like here. And if it's for the other side, other side. So one hand, wherever the kick is coming, that arm stays up, and the opposite arm is going to come under and catch. So she's going to throw the left leg first. Boom. We catch right here. So, ready?
Hang on.
Hmm?
You were hanging on.
Okay. I'm going to go to you.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it's going to come underneath. Whatever side it's coming on stays, and that's the next step, but we're not doing that right now. We're doing just the catch.
Okay.
So take the catch and drop the elbow, because as you can see, if I was throwing a serious kick, it would actually hit her ribs here. So you want to keep the elbow down. So rather than stand up tall, because we're actually taking a mid-level kick, so you're not going to stand up tall to take a mid-level kick, because that's going to expose your mid-level by standing up tall. So you're going to collapse to take the mid-level kick, grab it, and then you can stand up once you actually have the leg.
Okay.
So make sure the kick is proper technique too. So same concepts we were employing before. Bring it back with the toe coming up, chopping up this way. So don't turn over to drop that way. Think about making the tap and coming back, rather than going all the way through. Okay?
Okay.
Soccer ball that way. Big toe. So, good kick up. Okay, split focus to the kick. So here we are. And this is the hold. Catching. Once you have the catch, moving the hips back, creating space, bringing the leg halt position through, and standing up. So let's do it again. Kick to you. So watch out. Watch out for that. So your elbow's coming up. You want to keep your elbow down. Keep the elbow down because this is protecting you. That's your guard. Ready? And so keep it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take the kicks again.
So I thought when you do the kick, you're supposed to have your hand like this, up on your head.
Throw the kick. So what's happening? So the note that we're working on right now is that Autumn is lifting her elbow up to catch. So she's exposing the thing that she's actually trying to protect. So the way to fix that for your body mechanic is, instead of letting the energy come up here, drop it down. You actually want to drop it down. You want to drop down the same way we're doing these. Every single time you're taking the kick, you're dropping down and slapping if you're not catching. If you are catching, instead of slapping on either side, you come under. So you're going to come under here, 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 come under here.
So,
every single time.
But there is one of the where is that just for head kicks?
It's for the head kick, yeah.
Okay.
The head kick you cover.
I
your
thought
head.
it was all in one situation.
So yeah, no, the head kick you cover your head, and the rib, just like body shot, you cover body, and so here you cover head.
I thought it was like the same position of the arm for everything. You just lean to where you need to go.
To a certain extent, it is the same position of the arm, but the elbow's pointing in a different direction. Right now, the elbow's pointing down. Here, the elbow's pointing up. But the actual shape of the arm has not changed much at all. So we're talking about the difference between guarding body and guarding head. Guarding body, guarding head. Notice that the arm position is the same. Very similarly is the concept of throwing an L-shaped punch. The L-shaped punch can be the hook, it could be the uppercut, it could be the overhand, it could be the body shot. They're all the same shape. Generally the same shape. Obviously you can change based on distance, etc. So,
Okay.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
Back. Good stuff. Okay. Okay. So, kick, if you don't, for the purpose of the drill and for the purpose of the technique, kick up again. Just kick. Straight. Give me 3 straight kicks here. 3 round kicks. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay. So notice that you can't turn over the same way you're turning when you're throwing the single ones, because you actually have to come back. That's the kick that I need you to throw to do the drill properly.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? Go for it.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. And there we go. So now we can do the drill properly. And I'm going to go to you. Good stuff. Bring hips back. Great. And kick. Good. Hips back and then come up. So again, you're taking the kick, bringing your hips back. You cannot pass the kick through if your hips are here. So you have to create some space and then you come back up. And now you have it on the other side. And once again, the same concept we were talking about earlier. The leg is on the outside. You are on the outside of the body of your opponent with this kick. Throw it one more time, please. Boom. So I'm on the inside, I transfer, and now I'm on the outside of her. So I can get her back, etc. You can do a lot of things. So that's the concept. You want to stay on the outside for this particular move. Go to you. Elbow down. Ready? Good stuff. Good stuff.
So do I take it first or
You actually are taking the kick. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that's why you want to actually throw a real kick. And obviously we want to get we're just getting used to building the body up to take the pressure. Good stuff. Great. Stuff. Okay. Ready? Do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Excellent. Excellent. Good stuff. So just notice, I want to do that again. Look at how her hips, the natural biomechanic of her hips, bringing the leg from one side to the other, create a vacuum. So she just did a great example of it. So here we go. Kick. Boom. You see that? She pulls me forward. It creates this awesome little vacuum where by nature her posturing up, she's pulling me forward, disrupting my structure. Really, really important. So therefore I'm going to have to start hopping in. And it becomes harder. And there are drills where you're going to have somebody hold your leg and just punch, etc. So that vacuum is a great way to set up another throw and other techniques as well. So just really, really important. I'm going to switch to the right leg. And why don't you start it off? Good stuff.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you go again?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Is your hip okay?
Yeah, yeah. Still warming up. Okay. Go for it. Good stuff. Great. Yeah, just take it a little more smoothly. Can you pull me, please? So it's great. Okay. Boom. So I'm here. I'm just taking the kick. I haven't done the drag yet. Hips back. Boom. Posture up. There you go. Boom.
Sorry.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Again. Another note, strategically, you also have to be cautious and conscious, measuring out. This is not going to work with everybody that does a round kick. Some people's round kicks are going to be too hard for you to take. Your body may not be conditioned for that person. So you always have to gauge if you can take someone's round kick, if you can take their front kick, etc. You always gauge what the pressure is that you're receiving so that you can make a decision based on that. So this is great. Doesn't work on everybody. No technique does. And so always keep that in mind. Good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. Oh, good stuff. Okay, two more. Oh. Awesome. One more. Ooh. Good. do 2 uplifting heavens here. And we're also going to do a little bonus neck exercise. Because when you take this, like I just felt her kick, and if you're not training your neck, it goes up and it rattles your brain. Trust me, when a bunch of my friends were going pro, and I was like, you know, still training and still, but I wasn't fighting pro at the time. I used to go to meetings, and I used to wonder why it was hard for me to concentrate. My brain felt rattled. It's because my neck wasn't strong enough. I was taking impact from my buddies like Max Chen and Ian Morgan who were going pro, and their punches were getting stronger. They're working their whole body, and I'm still working, but I'm not doing that in the same way. But I'm still sparring with them, you know, once a week or twice a week. So it was a learning curve for me to recognize that your brain does get rattled when you take this impact, and you have to have the shock absorbers trained to properly, you know, come out of this stuff. So just make sure that we'll do some neck exercises at the end today, but make sure you bring that into your routine at least once a week so that you can have more strength in the neck. Remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you want to always be making sure that you're giving each part of the body what it needs in terms of circulation and movement. So let's go side kicks next. Side kicks, we are likely going to do a toss aside. So we're going to work up a bit to the side kicks. We're going to stretch them out now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So up, out, in, down. Again, I'm going to move off this rug so I can actually not rip the thing up. All right. We didn't bring out the mats for this today. 1, 2, 3, 4. So knee up, this is chamber, create a shield, turn it out, extend, bring it back in and down. You can do this, out, in, and down. It's a nice little frame we got going on here, look at that. Notice that I'm using my hand to counterbalance. Other hand's going to stay up on guard. And then switch. My base heel, both my feet are parallel. I bring one arm up. And now my foot that's parallel is going to pivot on the ball of the foot, so the heel is going to point to my right. I'm kicking my right leg, kicking to my right. So now my heel is pointing this way, and I release the kick. I bring it back in and stabilize myself, pivot the foot again. So you are going to turn that base foot out and in. So actually, I'll hold the camera so you can just see what I mean by that.
Can I hold it?
That's okay. Down. Actually, yeah, sure, why not?
I already did 10.
Okay, cool. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3. One more. Good stuff. Thank you so much. So now we're actually going to take these kicks. It's going to be great. How are we going to take the round kicks? Well, the side kicks. So the way we want to take the side kicks are, first and foremost, I learned how to take them as a shield. Meaning, hand on top of the head, turtle shell the back. Boom. Turtle shell the back, meaning pushing the shoulder blade, the scapula, inward. So you get extra support, like shock absorbers, right here. And then you're taking the kick on the forearms. So boom, taking it on the forearms, here, creating that space. You can also take it here and condition the solar plexus, etc., which is also a good idea too, when you have a partner you trust. Ideally, when you're sparring or when you're fighting, obviously, you want to keep that stuff away from your organs as much as possible. So we're going to go side kick for side kick.
This method, right?
Yep. Okay. Once you go 1, Boom. Same concept here. 70% of the way in the front foot, sink into it, exhale, push the pressure down to the ground, visualize the breath and the pressure both going down to the ground as you exhale.
Want to go again?
Yeah, I want to go again. Thank you. Okay. So another note is that if you don't condition your feet, you want to really go slowly to condition your feet. If you don't, go slowly until you do, and if you do, still go slowly to get better technique. Because if you're not used to hitting bone on bone, and you really want to get used to it, and if you wear sneakers all the time, etc., you don't do a lot of barefoot stuff, you really want to condition the feet to be able to take this kind of impact. So you don't want to hurt yourself. That's the whole point. You want to feel great after this stuff. So we're going to go slowly, and we're also going to drop down. So if we're fighting tall, if we're fighting tall, depending also on flexibility, some people are great flexible with their side kicks, go up to the head, etc. I can do it on one leg for sure. But what I'm getting at is that we're going to aim mid-level here. And if you want to make adjustments so that you can drop down to receive it at mid-level, go for that as well. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Boom. And she just let me know that I'm too close. So my side kick extending, the ball of my foot hit both of her elbows. So I just checked myself on her elbows. Not cool. So that means I need to back up a little bit. Okay, let's go again. So I'm backing up, creating bigger distance. Great. Now, another note, one of the reasons that I didn't take into consideration when I threw my first kick was that when I throw my side kicks, realistically, I'm not doing the drill, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually stepping forward. Look at this back leg. I step forward and I throw. So that changes the distance, meaning that I lose or gain that amount of space with that step. So if I'm in kicking distance, barely, and I do this step, I'm no longer in kicking distance. So if I'm setting up my side kick, you may have to set it up by covering, let's say throwing out a jab and taking a little step back, getting a little more distance, so then you can throw the big power side kick in. So another thing, strategic concepts that you need to bear in mind for distance. So boom, here, boom, and ready? Go me. Boom, good stuff. Boom. Good stuff. Remember, we're doing 10. Stuff. Good stuff. And if your partner is not actually receiving force, meaning any force is only a tap, you're not getting the full benefit. Neither of you are getting the full benefit of the drill. So if you find that I'm too far away, either I need to make an adjustment on my distance, or the partner is going to drop into it just a little bit more, so that we both get the benefit of the physical conditioning of contact.
Okay, your turn.
Good stuff. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now, other leg. So, how do you throw the rear leg side kick? So some people throw it like a round kick, meaning, or not a round kick, a roundhouse kick, which is different than a round kick. Roundhouse kicks are more like karate, kung fu, meaning that the knee comes across toward the other shoulder. So they'll load it, and then they'll throw it out. So you're here, load it up to your chamber, and then kick. Boom. Kick and back down. And then maybe they have to switch back, or maybe they jump back, etc. So we're going to be working that now.
Well, could you do the same step?
The main thing that we want to do, so I'll say this, that whether it's throwing punches or throwing kicks, etc., once you have command over your limbs, you can really do what you want as long as it works. Meaning that there are things that work that only you may be able to do that no one else in the world might come to that conclusion and think to do that, try to do that. So, with that said, it may be different than what's considered clean or proper technique. And it's also always important to remember that clean or proper technique has quotations around it because there are many different ways to generate power and different styles use different ways. They are not all the same, meaning that boxing will have more of a torque here while, let's say, Kempo may have more of a marriage of gravity concept, or Kung Fu may do more of the drilling with the marriage of gravity. This is more like Wing Chun, etc. So there's all these different ways of generating power. Grandmaster William C.C. Chen, reverse breathing, inhaling, inflating to structures, which is a different concept than just punching, actually creating the shape, and then that shape being solid like a statue, and that's creating the power. All these different ways. So I'm saying all of that because when doing this technique, if you haven't achieved that level of mastery for your over your limbs, then revert to the clarity of a technique. So here, to answer your question, just make sure that you see the shapes, and that you finish and bring back that's part of getting the workout. So we want to make sure that we see, okay, this knee cleared, and now I have this shield. Great, now I'm going to extend this leg out, and then I'm going to bring it back to my chamber position, which this is the shield, and then I'm going to step back. So, again, there are other ways to throw side kicks. You can even switch legs, step in, boom, throw. I love doing that. But right now, we're going to focus on I'm going to focus on this technique. You can do whatever you feel is right as long as you get the contact.
Position.
Yeah, get your chamber, which protects you, and then launch from chamber to me.
Okay.
And then get back. Go for it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just don't want to rip the rug. Boom. Good stuff. Oh. So always remember all the things we're training here. It's not just you're getting conditioning of giving and receiving impact every time you make contact. So you want your striking point to be solid, your posture to be solid, and you want to be able to recover in a solid way so someone doesn't rush you after, doesn't rush you. So you want to make sure all of these things feel like you have control and awareness through the whole experience with your partner. That's why it's important to have a good training partner.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Whoa. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And really seek that sense of foot parallel. When you make contact, your foot parallel to the ground. Parallel to the ground. So just seek that one moment and then come back. Boom. Excellent. Boom. Awesome. Boom. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. One more each side. I mean, which one? I want to do one more. Ready. Good stuff. Okay, good.
Do you want to do it again?
No, I'm okay. I'll go with that. Thank you. I'll lift the habit. Check the time. Wow, okay, cool. So I did not. Huh? It'll be an hour and like 4 minutes.
Oh. Probably just do one more though, right?
Yeah, I actually think we should move on to neck and stretching.
I feel pretty good about what we did. Like it was slow enough. I actually have a sweat.
Yeah, I have a sweat too. So like the whole point, guys, of what we're just doing is making sure that you have contact with your partner that allows you both to build strength in giving and receiving that contact. So you want to train the bones, you want to train the muscles, you want to train your posture, you want to train your posture under pressure. That's something I talk about all the time from my perspective, Tai Chi and push hands, etc. When you're boxing, when you're doing kickboxing, any of these sports, when you receive the impact, you still want to be able to maintain the posture and redirect the pressure you're receiving into the ground. So one of the most important things about areas of the body to train is the neck. But we haven't been taking any impact today in our heads directly, but our heads are receiving, our brains are getting a little bit rattled when you take this impact. So you want to have the shock absorbers in the neck strengthened so that you minimize the shaking in the head when you receive the impact. So today, right now, we're going to go for some neck exercises. And
are you going to do the one where you lean off?
Yeah. So I'm going to go upside down. But
I'm going to take these off.
You can just do this on the couch, and I love this. And yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to take these off, and we'll go right to the neck exercise. And I'm going to move this. So I got 3 books here. I got a classic Fantastic Four that I picked up at a Comic-Con 2 weeks ago. I was like a little kid, so I'm like rereading it, really cool stuff. I got this pro wrestling graphic novel, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I got it autographed as well, so that's super fun. I don't really know much about pro wrestling, but I'm interested because of what we're doing with our Justice for Hire show. I think you guys, if you follow me, you know what Justice for Hire is. If you don't, it's a show that it's a martial arts action show that we're doing on like all across like social. So it's on TikTok at Justice for Hire. Anyone can join the cast right from their phone. We have heroes all across the world and villains. It's super fun. And I got Street Fighter. This is the original Street Fighter collected edition graphic novel from the very first Street Fighter. So this is like amazing and a joy to read. So shout out to Udon Comics. Really love it. So, and of course, Justice for Hire is based on a comic book series that I wrote with my dad. So it's fun stuff. Too. A lot of martial artists are in the comic too, playing characters. So, okay, so we're gonna do this next stuff. And if you are transitioning at all, like taking stuff off, notice that I'm stretching while I'm taking this stuff off. So just do your best to make sure your movement is functional, that you're getting the benefit of. I'm gonna move these together, and I'm stretching while I'm doing these little movements. So just do your best to always bring stretching into your experience, especially after you've trained, because you get more muscle growth, faster recovery when you stretch after your training. So here we go. Neck exercises. So I'm going to sit on the couch or go upside down. Oh. There we go. Sheets up here. Okay. Looking down and then going up. Relaxing all the way and up. So I'm going to do probably 20 of these, 3 sets.
3? It's making me nauseous.
And if 20 is too much, go for 10. 6, 7, 8. You can even slow it down and make it more. 9, 10. Notice that I'm not holding my head. Now you can hold your head.
I'm getting nauseous. I might not do this. Is there a variation?
Well, hold on for a second. So when you finish, relax a little bit, and if you need to, just turn on the couch or whatever surface you want and just rest your head. Rest. Stretch it. Turn the neck. Little bits here and there. And we'll go for 2 more sets. So 1, 2. This time I'm going to do 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Stretch it out. These neck exercises really helped me in high school as well. I used to do them right before bed. Actually, I would do them in bed, and I would just put my pillow under my shoulders, like behind my heart, and I would have that extra lift in my chest, so my head was below my chest, and then I'd lift up, and that was really, really great. It helped me chisel my jawline in a really great way in high school. So really was happy about that. And 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. Relax it out. Relax the neck. If you want, you can just sit. We're going to do 1 more neck exercise. Sit for a second and just inhale, exhale. Inhale, roll, exhale. Inhale deep, exhale down. Reverse it. Inhale up, exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale down. 1 more. Okay, great. Now we're going to do neck exercises on the floor, which probably would make sense to do this first, but we did it on the couch. Okay, so here we go. You want to try?
Yeah.
This is an alternate. So this alternate, can you see? Here we go. Fix this a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, I'll fix this over here. Hold on. There we go. Almost. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Boom. Great. So, I'm going to take my arms, I'm going to put them out along my shoulder line. So do your best to just keep your arms straight. I'm going to lift my head up, and I'm just going to turn, looking over to my shoulder, to my finger that's farther away, or my elbow, obviously because I don't have enough room, and then looking to the other side, to my finger, from one to the other. And I'm going to do this slowly at first, because in general, if you've never done anything like this before, you want to keep it slow and controlled first before you pick up the speed. 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. So then I look back up to the ceiling and notice that I have all this space under my head, and I release and I just relax down. And I'm just going to roll to the side to stretch. So I'm going to put this over here on the side so you can see me as if you are my fingertip. So I'm putting this over here. And so I'm stretching here, and I'm going to put this arm. I have this couch here, so I really can't extend this arm all the way, even though I'd like to. So instead, I'm going to look at my elbow, because I want to have personal geometry. Personal geometry is a very important concept for you to be able to define straight for yourself. That's part of having a sense of your own center line awareness, and how your center, your body, but your center, what's deeper than your body, where the center of you, how it relates to the rest of physical reality and more. So I'm going to use this elbow as my right, that's my rightmost point, and I'm going to use the camera as my left, and I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to lift up, and 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Relax. Just rotate. Gentle stretches. Inhale deep, exhale. Inhale deep, exhale. Very gentle stretches. And we're going to do 1 more. So we got our last neck exercise, because you don't want to overdo it with your neck, but you also may want to make sure that you're giving it some work. And if you do it twice a week, maybe you work the front of the neck on one day and then like the back of the neck on the other side. Because you don't want to, just like I said, you don't want to overdo it. It's not a good idea. But here, up, see the space? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. All right. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're going to come up. We're going to stretch everything out right now. That was very intense. Very intense training today. Very intense, slow training. Remember, it's more intense when you think about the technique, when you think about your posture, you think about how to really move and how to really achieve power in small spaces with small movement. The more you combine your breath work and visualization, but even if you didn't do breath work and you don't do visualization, let's say you don't do those things, small circles working together create a lot of power. So that means that you can have full body power is very different than, let's say, bicep power or shoulder power or chest power, etc. So it's a really important concept, and it's one that's been like literally the core of my success as a martial artist has been the fact that most of the time when I go up against somebody, I'm not as strong as that person by like how people would normally measure strength, because I may not be able to lift as much, or like I may not have the same physique as them, etc. But because I've trained my entire life in Tai Chi, but more specifically, forget about Tai Chi as a label, the concept of moving small circles together. So a little movement of my finger connects to a little movement of my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder, my waist, my hip, etc. And it's all coordinated with focus. That allows me to have a lot more power in a small amount of space. So when we're doing these techniques, the reason we'll sweat more is because we're paying attention to those small movements that create the full body power. That coordination is the thing that you want to do, even if you don't do the breathwork and visualization. But the breathwork and visualization helps you to achieve that and to be more sensitive and aware of your own body so that you can actually get to that full body power experience. So, stretching. Inhaling out, exhaling down. I'm going to get a nice standing yoga stretch in, and I'm going to start that off with actually 10 burpees. So the reason I'm going to do these 10 burpees is because I've cooled down a bit unintentionally. I didn't really want to cool down much, but we jumped right into the neck stuff because I felt like if I stretched first, I wouldn't want to do the neck stuff, quite honestly. So we're going to do these burpees. I'm going to do 10 burpees, and I'm going to do them with a jab, cross, down, push up, jump. I'm just going to do 10. 10 of those, and then I'm jumping right into a yoga exercise. So jab, cross. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a jab, cross. I think I'll either do a push-up or a sprawl. So a sprawl means I'm doing like kind of like a wrestling, jumping my legs back and spreading out, or otherwise I'll do a push-up. So one or the other. 1, 2. Good stuff. All right, now let's get to this yoga. Uplifting heaven, catch your breath. One more. Remember, we're always using this exercise to bring ourselves back to our center, to stretch, to connect the breath work and the visualization. Feet 2 fists apart. Actually, underneath your sit bones, weight. Sit bones is if you cut your hips in half, cut that in half again, where your pelvis meets the femur. draw an imaginary line from here down to the heels, the centermost point. Cut it in half of that on each side. That's where the sit bones are. Connecting down to the heel. That's where the heel alignment should be. If you parallel, suck at the belly button. Collarbone up, fingertips up. Belly button, collarbone, fingertips. Sucking the belly button, lift the lower back. All the muscles, visualize them coming out of the hip line. Pull the belly button in. Lift the collarbone, fingertip. Lift the middle back, all the muscles lifting out of the lower back. Visualize them going up. Hold, belly button, collarbone, fingertips. Lift the upper back, all the muscles lifting out of the middle back. Hold, belly button, collarbone, fingertips. And then shoulders lifting out of the upper back. Hold, and drop down. Exhaling down. Drop the chin to chest. Exhale. One vertebrae melting off the last. And let's just wind the stance, fold the arms and head. Actually, inhale up. Exhale, wash down. Inhaling up. Always keep it connected. I was about to get lazy. Let's just go down and stretch. You really want to keep it connected. Exhale, sink and sit. Drop it down. Inhaling up, dropping down. And we're actually going to go down to the ground right now because I'm going to start stretching out down here. Sitting back. And dropping forehead to the knee.
My right hip hurts again after the kicking.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't hurt at all before. I wonder if it's from the kicking somehow.
Is it your left hip?
Right.
Your right hip.
Yeah.
You know, well, did you do this to open up?
Not yet.
I definitely recommend doing that and just reversing it. I'll do it myself. And then we'll go forward from there, inhaling up, exhaling down. Gentle pull, inhale up. And then sit back. And come up. Push the hips forward, knee down. Shoulders and hips square. Suck in the belly button, lift the chest. And switch. Forward, inhaling deep, exhale. And hands on the hips, come forward. Take my belly button, lift the collarbone. And sit back again. And down. So I know a few of you on here stay on and train. There's several folks that like stay for like, the entire time, which is really cool. So, let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, or ideas, whether you've been here the whole time or not. If you have been here the whole time, thank you. That's awesome. And I'm hoping this stuff is adding value to your day, to your life, etc. Bring my knees wider, dropping down. If you have, anytime that you have like a specific question, I'm always happy to to dive in and maybe even make a video specifically to address that question. So that really is, big passion in my life. So I love doing that. So always feel free to write those questions. The last time someone wrote something and I completely dropped the ball, and I'm still stretching while I'm like checking these. So I'm just sticking my leg out and reaching down. And remember what I was saying earlier when I was putting away the shin pads, but just making sure that that you're mindful while you're doing your stretching, meaning that I might, if you see me doing multiple things at once, that's because I've done them for a while, and the automatic mind, it's called, takes over. So I know how to be safe and do a particular stretch while I'm doing something else, or etc. So allow yourself the grace of just time. Give yourself time to program your body a certain way so that you can multitask. Some people say there's no such thing as multitasking, but the reality is that your body is is always in a state of multitasking. It's how we get to actually operate. So it's a matter of how much can you program yourself?
Well, what they mean by that is the brain switches in between so fast that you're able to do things simultaneously, but it's not thinking about two things simultaneously.
I understand what you mean by that. What I'm getting at is the for example, how can are you going to get the same quality of stretch in a focused way versus a multitask way? For example, I'm checking I'm checking for stretching while I'm checking for questions. No, I'm not getting the same quality of stretch, but I am getting a stretch. So I'm getting a lower quality of stretch because my focus is intentional, deeply intentional into the stretch, even though my automatic mind is programmed to keep me safe. So I think it's important to recognize that you can accomplish certain things simultaneously while keeping yourself safe, keeping some various best practices, but also recognizing the difference between deep focus and light focus or automatic mind work. So it's the difference. It's similar to the difference between putting the breath work into the combination versus not breathing through it and just doing touching. But the touching in itself can be on pad work can be actually very intentional. So always different varying levels, and you can totally accomplish multiple things simultaneously if you train yourself to do it. That's what I'm getting at. And to Autumn's point, the concept of some of the folks that she may have read of the brain switching, that's all well and good. Well, my point of this is essentially saying, if you want to get more out of your time, you can do that, and don't be discouraged by the semantics. Just recognize that time, the more time you spend doing something, the more it's going to become automatic, and you can program yourself to do pretty much anything. So anyway, I love you guys, and let me do one more little stretch here myself, and actually, we'll close out properly. So I'm just gonna go to the side here. Exhaling down, inhaling out, exhaling down to the other side. One more time each side. Actually, I do the counterbalance of that, which is chest down, inhale up, bring the leg over, look it behind. Inhaling deep, exhaling, softening everything from my head through my shoulder, through my ribs. Inhale up. It's so important to stretch and give yourself enough time to stretch, because otherwise you're putting compression into the body and you're not expanding that compression. So whether that's weights or running, etc., what we did today. You really want to expand it out. It's even part of the reason I have the pull-up bar connected up there right now. If you have one of these little bars, I do recommend, keeping it up for when you get your training. Like, you can get these on Amazon super quick. Get the training done, just hang a little bit. And be cautious too, if you're not used to hanging, it's very, very easy to overstretch the back, to injure yourself, or to shock the body. A lot of people that I've known, and I've experienced it myself sometimes too, if I'm too long out of training, you may be used to having a certain type of strength, or you may be very overzealous. You're gung-ho about getting into exercise, and then you overdo it, and then your muscles lock up because you've shocked the body, and they're trying to protect you, that area of the body, from getting damaged or injured. So you get this this dense muscle tension. So when you're doing these types of hangs, just make sure that you allow yourself, keep your feet on the ground if you're not used to it, and give a little pushback with the feet so that you're not taking all the pressure in the shoulders and in the back, etc. So just always incrementally, anything we're doing, incrementally increase rather than jump into it. Because if you do the incremental increase, then you're going to get the incremental growth, and that incremental growth over time is going to be the exact thing you're looking for. But if you jump into it too fast, it's just going to oftentimes can just suck and cause an injury. So unnecessary. Closing the eyes, always finishing up. Doing one, uplifting heaven. Inhale, the breath is white light into the belly. And we're going to use this visualization of white light to move our attention through the body. We want to connect to the bone marrow. Today we just did impact training for our posture, but we also put some pressure on our bones, and that's going to increase bone density over time. But if you do it too fast, etc., like we were just talking about before, if you do it too fast or too hard, you can actually damage the bone. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to break a bone. You don't want to do any of that stuff. So right now we're going to use this breath work to exhale through the body and make a sound that helps us to feel the sense of vibration. We're going to make a sound ah, and we're going to feel that vibration. And we're going to pay very close attention using our visualization to feel the vibration in our bones and even deeper in the bone marrow. So we're going to visualize washing our bone marrow with this breath work and visualization. So inhale deep, white light to the belly. See the breath coming in through the nose, gathering like it's white light filling up your belly. And then we're going to spread that light through the whole body, through the bone marrow. Inhale, bring the white light from the toes to the top of the head like a tidal wave rising. Then we're going to wash it down the back, from the head to the heels, down the back like a waterfall. Again, using the sound, feeling the vibration, washing the body with this light, cleaning, cleansing the body, the blood, etc. Inhale up the left side to the top of the head, white light like a tidal wave, and then we're going to roll down the right side with the sound like a waterfall to the heel. This is called middle pillar breathing. Inhaling deep into the belly. And we're going to push the light into the ground. You're going to feel the vibration in the ground. You're going to feel that light come back up or off the ground and around you, creating like a bubble around you. Almost like a fountain in reverse. These are actually the natural magnetic lines around the body that we're focusing on now. So inhale deep and one more time. Inhale to the belly, this time pushing to the top of the head like a fountain, the light going out in all directions and washing down around you, making a big bubble of light. Have gratitude for the body. Feel the light all around you, inside of you. Gratitude for the good good people in your life, in the space that you're in. Nice uplifting heaven. And thank you guys, as usual. And if you don't already follow, please follow Coach Jan. Love you guys so much. I talk about this all the time, but we have on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, I release 3 videos a day. So 2 shorts and 1 long form video. So there's like a lot of content on my YouTube. It's at Jan's Tai Chi also. So you can just, find me on there too. If you want to see a lot more content, I do and will put up more content on TikTok, but I really do more live streams on TikTok. So YouTube, TikTok, all this stuff. And I also repost these videos on my YouTube as well, so that people can reference them, because there's some good training that we do. So I love you guys so much. I'll be back probably tomorrow. And of course, check out Justice for Hire as well if you have not seen what we're doing as a global community of creative martial artists making a show together. So it's real fun to watch the show. It's real fun to be a part of it. You can join right from our app for free at justiceforhire.app. So please check us out there too. And I love you guys and have a great night.